All right, real quick, going into our prize pick segment. Hey, UD, what does prize picks do, man? They give out
Hey,
what?
listen here, man. This is just our opinion. Don't be writing the OG podcast. Don't be DMing us, complaining, talking that shit. We are entitled to our opinion. It's nothing more, it's nothing less. And probably we don't care what you think. So, prize picks, let's do it.
So the prize picks.
You got to understand, Steve, this ain't got nothing to do with you, but we have an opinion, and people just try to light us up for our opinion.
It's our observation on what you just asked.
Exactly.
That's all it is.
What you want
Get mad at us.
What you want us to do? So this prize pick segment is the top 5 coaches in the league today. Not of all time, not who you played for in the league today. Who's your top 5 coaches in the league today?
You ready?
It's you, Coach.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So I'm right off the top, Coach Spo.
Spostra Nostra.
Yeah, you already know what time it
Already.
is.
Yes, sir.
Young Vito.
Yes, sir.
Then I'm gonna go with Pop, Ty Lue,
Lou.
J Kidd,
Yeah.
and then lastly, this is a tough one, but I'm gonna go Rick Carlisle.
I thought you was going to say
I don't know if that's a tough
Even
one.
though Rick, I don't know what the hell Rick was doing last playoff series, but I thought you was going to say that because I seen it firsthand. That championship that we lost to Dallas, Rick was on his Rick was on his when they coached together.
He a magician.
He had a tough run this playoff against Boston. Because there was a couple things that we all saw, the world saw that. But once again, we're not in those huddles. It could have been called one way and executed differently. We don't know what the situation was. But I agree with you. Rick should definitely be on that list. Rick can coach his ass off.
I don't even know Rick, but at least the one thing I liked about Rick, even in those tough situations, he set up and owned it too.
Yeah.
I should have done this. I should have done that. It wasn't their fault. It was my fault.
Yeah, he knows.
That's coaching, bro.
Yeah, he knows.
Yeah. I don't know if I can make a change to that. Can you?
No, I can't make a change to that. I'm with that. I'm with that 7 days a week and twice on Sunday, especially the Ty Lues and the J Kids and, just the ex-players that are on that list. Got personal relationships. When I see those guys, we played against each other, but in my role that I was in and in their role that they was in, they always took the time out to give me advice. Hey, man, I love what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Play as long as you can. Keep giving these guys knowledge. Keep taking care of these young guys. They need that. So it was always encouraging whenever I ran into Jason Kidd or Ty Lue. And they was retired, but that was the words that they had for me. You know what I'm saying? So I love to see them on that list.
You got to look at all those guys I mentioned too. This from another observation. If you can, the fans out there that's going to see it, are they maximizing every talent on the roster? So because so many times you can see, and it's no knock to the coach because usage and all that stuff. When you got great players, you got great players. You just follow the momentum, but. It's very intriguing now being on this side of things just to watch how you get the most out of every guy on the roster.
Yeah.
And that's why that list was easy for me, just to check that box.
They do a great job.
And I think and that's a great point because it's easy to maximize your 2 best players and tell the other 3 out there to figure it out. And I think that's what a lot of coaches do. But if you can maximize all 5 of the guys that's on the court at the same time, then you done figure some shit out. And I mean, you had to go to work and get in the lab because that shit don't just happen overnight. You got to get in the lab to get that going.
They don't know nothing about Oregon Trail.
No, they don't.
It's an old game right there,
That is an
Oregon
old game.
Trail
Oregon
on
Trail.
Arkansas. They don't know nothing about that.
Oh, I like that list. That's a good list.
Yeah, no, that's a hell of a list. I can't argue that list.
Well, here at the OGs, man, we're a man of the people. We got some fan questions for you, man. 'Cause you're an OG like us. All right. First fan question: most memorable moment playing with Kobe.
Man,
I love Kobe stories, so I'm with this guy.
It's crazy because I have 2. One I never told, one I kind of touch on often. The time we was in Charlotte, and I forget the coach. I don't know if it was Rudy T or Frank Hamlin. They was drawing up a play because Rudy T left halfway through the season, so it might have been Frank Hamlin. But whoever our coach was at the time, he was drawing up the play. Kobe just kind of wiped the board real quick. He was like, "Hey, who the want to be part of history?" And everybody was like Lamar was like, I want to be part of history. He's like, all right, you take the ball out. I'm gonna get open right here. Throw it to me. Everybody run out the tunnel. Game. And that's just true story, dog. Real time. He nobody knew where to go on the court. Just hey, he's gonna catch it somewhere right here. Just get the out the way.
Run to the locker room.
And that's what happened in real time. He was like, just whoever want to be part of history, throw me the ball. Right, I'm gonna be right here. And that's what happened. But I think just after everything, like all the adversity that we was going through, the Shaq trade and all that, and I never forget we was in Denver. This story I never told. He was just like sitting there on the bench, and he just start like closing his eyes, and he put his hands up, and I'm like, damn, what is he doing? And Melvin Hunt, who was the assistant coach at the time, he's like what is he doing? He said, and he just like stood up, and I was processing all that shit, because they was like, booing him and everything. He was like, I'm gonna win another 3-4 titles, and I want to win a championship in this building and in this arena. And I was just like, damn, like this, like him being wired like that in that moment. And we was getting our ass kicked probably about 25, 30 points, but just him just like tapping in, and I'm just trying to get through the game. I'm like, I got 11 points. I'm trying to score 13. And he's thinking like,
he's in a moment talking about how good it's gonna be.
Yeah, I see chips. I see, and I gotta remember this. I gotta add this on for my motivation during my process. Like it was just crazy how he was like wired like that. And I'll never forget. He just always told me and talked to me about, and this what we always have dialogue about, just your second act. Like what's next? Like even when you're in the process of what you're doing, what's next? Yeah. Like, what is next? Like, don't celebrate that shit. All right, good. Hey, man, congrats on your new deal, whatever. But like, what's next? Yeah. Like, what's next? Yeah. So that's my favorite Kobe memory as well.
That's beautiful.
Next question: toughest player to guard. Oh, here we go. We're up here.
I would say Kobe or T-Mac.
T-Mac.
Yeah.
T-Mac don't get
T-Mac
enough
had
flowers.
that.
Yeah, but Steve Francis too. Like I think people don't talk enough about Steve Francis. When franchise was the franchise, he was a problem. He's a problem.
No, when he started going to his stuff, I just fouled him.
He just started dancing.
Him and Jamal Crawford. Every time they went to that wiggle stuff.
Yeah. I ain't doing that.
He ain't finna have me.
Switch. I got two. You guard him.
Killer said that wiggle stuff. As soon as they start doing that wiggle stuff.
Doing that wiggle. Hey, you finna take that outside here. That's,
wow.
I did that.
Help
me.
Help.
No, I ain't gonna let him start dancing on me.
Black, sit him black. I need a blitz.
Come, hurry. Get it out of his hand.
Besides my man, the OG over there, who's an NBA player that everyone respected and were slightly afraid of?
It's a handful of guys. I think everyone respected. I think Chauncey Billups, somebody who a lot of people respected, just from that standpoint.
Man, respect for Chauncey.
Yeah,
another OG who I saw on the sidelines at Portland. Same thing, giving me advice. Hey, man, we love what you're doing. It was just a lot of encouraging support from those guys that was on the court with me, and they crossed over to the coaching side, and when they saw what I was doing, it was just all love and support. So
David
that's
West.
Another name,
David
Chauncey.
West.
He was a tough one. He was a tough one.
Just like dudes that stood on business that
Zebo.
Zebo
stood on that business.
Yeah, man.
Kenyon Martin.
Indiana.
Kenyon Martin stood on business.
Kmart.
Yeah. Bull stayed on business. It's a different league. Yeah. It's a different league. When you talk about a lot of guys that don't play no more, it'll knock your goddamn block off.
Hey, I tell you what, that's a good segue because the next question I just pulled up here: thoughts on the level of toughness in today's NBA?
On a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah.
3. It's not a knock. It's just league. That's okay.
It's okay.
It's not. They want more scoring. They want more athleticism.
I heard someone say, which I thought was really, really good. They said, I don't think the league is soft. I think the rules are what they're allowed.
Yeah, it's the rules. They want to see more scoring. They want to see more athleticism. They want to see all the exciting stuff.
I think that's a fair assessment, right? Like it's not that y'all are soft.
I'm not saying the players are necessarily soft. I'm just saying the rules have softened.
Golly, man,
speeding it up.
When we played through there, and I ain't trying to be the guy who walked up the hill at school both ways. But gosh, damn, them dudes were tough.
Yeah.
The guys we're talking about, Oak, man, like you go across Cliff Robinson,
Derek Coleman,
like
he's another
you see a drop your ass, boy.
Like, talking about like you just they swipe and break your hand.
Yeah.
Different.
What? Like different. Last one, I'm gonna give you this one because UD's sitting here too. How special was that team that featured UD, Wade, Skip, LO, EJ, and B Grant?
That was a fun team.
B Grant.
Yeah, right?
That was a fun team.
Yeah, man, that was special. You know what? I've been on a lot of different teams, played with 7 or 8 organizations, and I always go back to that team just like what the hell would have happened? like if we would have been able to stay together, just because we was young, the core, the nucleus, everything. I felt like Miami was just starting to trend, like from a basketball standpoint. Because you know it's all football.
100%.
But it was just like it was happening. And I was like, damn,
That was
we
a
got
young,
young
exciting team,
D-Wade,
yeah.
we got UD, we got like what would have happened with that team? But now we all back pouring in a different way, so it's still special. Malik,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah,
obviously
Malik.
he on the bench doing his thing as well. Amazing basketball mind. So, but I always think about like what would have happened with that squad. 'Cause that was a special group.
It was a young. Our team was fun
That was
too.
a fun team.
Yeah, man.
We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We signed Elo in free agency. Elo had just came from that hell of a year with the Clippers.
Man, that dude was so good too, man.
Yeah.
he was-
And you know what?
was
It was probably the two
unbelievable.
funniest. Skip and Elo together. Man, New York cats.
dudes,
Oh
man.
my
City
God.
Slickers.
Them New York dudes
City
is up,
Slickers.
man. They funny. Man, they listen after every practice. Don't get it started because they're gonna play 1-on-1.
Right.
Any kind of argument, they could be arguing about the bubble gum and the over there crossed by the basketball, and it's gonna turn into 1-on-1. Anybody, if you're from New York, you in all conversations with 1-on-1. Whoever win 1-on-1 just win the conversation. That's how they do in New York. If you're from New York, you just go play 1-on-1 basketball. Or whoever 1-on-1 basketball, that's who won the conversation.
Facts.